Hey guys, thank you for being here. So my topic, Deconstructing HeyReach's growth to 4 million ARR using word of mouth. From the moment I've sent the slides to today, we managed to hit 5, so good for us. But so just to see if you do clicker, okay. So for those of you who don't know me, I've been in a B2B SaaS for like over a decade. Most prominent experience was lemlist, and thank you for the kind words. I've also started my own agency afterwards, and it was during this time that HeyReach was one of my clients. We started working together, and beginning of this year, they offered me the position of CMO, which started, like I said, at the beginning of the year. And today, I want to walk you through some of the basics of word of mouth, like why it works for us. It's our best performing channel by far. And then user communication tactics. This is the boring stuff that compounds like crazy in the long run. And I just want to also show you a couple of things that are very, very beneficial to us. And probably the reason why we're here is the number 3. So marketing tactics that we use to kind of fuel and incentivize word of mouth on an even higher scale. Starting with what we internally call as growth square loop. And so this is the business of HeyReach in one slide. So for us as a subscription business, journey starts by users signing up for a free trial. Once they do, there are certain activities that we have to consider for them to activate to reach that wow moment, which is very, very important. And once they do, they convert, typically. When they convert, it's nice. They usually send like first campaign. Things are looking good. But then the real battle starts, which is helping them win consistently in longer periods of time. So making sure that the LinkedIn outbound is working great for them for 3+ months and hopefully forever. And by helping users win, which is one of my favorite KPIs, the likelihood of them speaking positively about HeyReach, sharing specific things about their campaigns, how they do it, kind of amplifies if we're able to do this. And so this is how we get that word of mouth done. But in the beginning, you also need like a really good product on top of all this. Then there's like a second thing, which gets to the ICP, like getting to know your ICP really, really well. I think I jumped one slide too fast. But we typically sell to lead gen agencies, sales teams, and growth and revenue teams. And one of the things that it's very interesting about them as an audience that makes word of mouth kind of feel natural, they're all building their personal brands on LinkedIn. It's the place to be for us. And because they're very active on LinkedIn, this gets marketing wheels kind of rolling in your mind. How can we do, what type of content can we create and use these guys as a distribution channel? And there's a tactic I'm going to show you later on. Because for them, it's imperative, especially for lead gen agencies, to build authority in front of their audiences because it's what they sell. And they recommend tools all the time. They're building authority, networking, connecting, etc., etc. And on top of these things, if we, through the marketing activities, are able to help them generate more leads, particularly again for agencies, it's another win-win scenario that's important for us, and it creates additional bond with these users. Reach more people, particularly important for sales teams, and obviously, like if these guys are sending us some leads and users, referral program is a no-brainer. And so it's a very interesting concept. Like if you know your ICP to the smallest details, and every detail about your ICP needs to give you an action point. If it doesn't, it shouldn't be in your ICP file. Then it goes to user communication tactics, kind of related to the brand, because HeyReach, luckily, had features that gives us differentiation compared to our competitors. But my logic was always building a brand from day one, because if we do that, we add another layer of defensibility. And the way that we can build brand from day one is, among other things, like communicating with users in a very specific way. And I just took a couple of examples. I talk to users all the time. It's like a basic thing. Everybody knows that, but usually consistency is that lax. I've done this as a marketing intern and now as a CMO. And these are the things that kind of lead to things like this. So for us, integrations are, I think I'm clicking the clicker too aggressively, but the thing with the talking to users, it gives us opportunity to prioritize features. It gives us opportunity to decide which of the marketing activities we're going to prioritize. For us, one of the differentiators was integrations. Which tools should we integrate? There's like a gazillion tools in the GTM space, and users kind of help us prioritize this. But most importantly, for the word of mouth, it makes users feel like they're building the tool with us. Inevitably, we're going to have bugs, we're going to have problems, but if they have this feeling of building the tool with us, especially in the early stages, they're not going to churn because of this. And I've seen this work in multiple companies so far. Then you have one-to-many communication. If you go back to the growth square loop, people need actionable content to succeed with LinkedIn outbound in the longer run. So the way we communicate, we prioritize sending them actionable use cases all the time. This is just a couple of screenshots from the newsletter, which for us works phenomenally. Again, super typical stuff, everybody does it, but you just have to connect it with the things that are important for your business. The next thing was the company page. The slide is going to roll in a second, I guess. But the company page, yes, personal brands on LinkedIn are way more better than this, and this can never be your best performing channel. But I've noticed an interesting trend. We get a lot of mentions that kind of compound month over month. And so if we're fast to respond to every mention on LinkedIn as a company page and make the company page a little bit more human, this increases the amount of times that same person is going to mention us in the future. I've read this like a tactic from Apollo a couple of months ago, and it's true. It really works like that. And plus, we, believe it or not, we get a lot of demos and new users just from the company page. And the only thing that we do with it primarily is interacting with hundreds of comments we get on a monthly basis. And these are just some random screenshots how it looks for our brand. And then finally, probably the reason why we're here, marketing tactics that boost word of mouth. So what are the channels that we prioritize? Keep in mind that we're still small and lean team. Like, we really have to be sharp when it comes to prioritizing. We can't do thousands of things at the same time. And so my favorite project is Outbound Outliers. What it does is it puts users into the spotlight. Like, we take their LinkedIn campaign, we showcase their results, we showcase how they did it, integrations they used, etc., etc. And if you think about it, it's kind of like a fancy social proof, and it's also actionable content. The good thing about it is typically when you create content, 51% of your actions has to go on distribution, making sure that that content actually grabs the eyeballs of your target audience. And the channels we utilize are all internal, like the newsletter, SEO, you convert it to YouTube videos, maybe social media, personal brands. But what if you can add your users, your partners, your integration partners, whoever, to share that content with you? How do we do that? Go back to our ICP slide. These users are building authority on LinkedIn. We should create content that speaks about them, how they are winning, but make sure that HeyReach has a product placement inside. And so it's this methodology that we use to fuel word of mouth and get more people to share these types of stories. Plus, additional thing that's really good, because we have now a good distribution network, around 50K people when we start distributing this content, this also brings leads to our users. So it's another type of a win-win that kind of helps us amplify these. And for us as a business, this is great because attracts new users, great for user acquisition. It gives existing users more inspiration to win with LinkedIn outbound, great for user retention. And it's like one content sprint, if you think about it, or marathon more like, that ticks a couple of boxes. And hence why we prioritize that. How it works in the back end, the user applies organically, or we hunt them down when we see that they're killing it with LinkedIn outbound campaigns. We send them like a hit list. What do we need specifically for them? We make this as simple as possible. So we do the heavy lifting. They send some small amount of stuff that we convert into content. We take over the full content creation. Internally, distribution starts, and then we incentivize them to distribute them themselves. So if they share like a LinkedIn post, we send them some gifts, which are I'm going to show you also later. And then if that LinkedIn post grabs a little bit of virality, a little bit of engagement, we have very generous rewards that we're going to additionally give them to kind of motivate that behavior of doing it the right way. Another thing, we recently released integration with Make, and it's the same concept. This is, we only started phase 1, you're one of the first people to see, but it's the same concept. Like, there's a lot of people who are consultants for Make. They want to be part of our distribution network. So it's the same logic, just a different content a little bit in a way. Webinars are another interesting channel. So typically when you integrate, this is when we integrated with Trigify, another tool in the GTM space. And so usually when you do these types of webinars, you also want to make them actionable. So deliver use cases, inspirational stuff, but we added a little bit of a let's say, a hack at the end of the webinar where we run a contest. This competition is like, we motivate users to use the two tools and share these scenarios online. Like they're going to get some results, they're going to share it, and there are really cool rewards involved. For this one, it was you get the top plan from Trigify and HeyReach for free for a year. And a lot of these businesses wanted that. And so we amplify the amount of posts that goes organically. And so for us, it's an additional thing for word of mouth. We always had affiliate program. It's like a no-brainer for B2B SaaS in most cases. But now, how can we make this affiliate program better? The thing that we wanted to do was the partner program. Again, it's nothing revolutionary, but we use the ICP stuff that we know. We go back to our growth square loop, and we say, okay, we can get them some more interesting things, like receive a bigger lead pool, prioritize, for example, the leads that we get through customer support to them. They can get some cool HeyReach benefits, and they can unlock more promotional opportunities. So now the partner program is another interesting thing, and because they get ROI from multiple sources, the likelihood of them sharing even more stuff about HeyReach amplifies again. And last but not least, unfortunately for this one, I don't have a lot of results yet because it's a fresh new program, but it's the creator program. And so the thing with the creator program is it's like a small community, what it really is. This guy runs one of the most famous and successful lead gen agencies in the world. And a lot of guys really, he serves as a role model in terms of how he treats his LinkedIn, what kind of engagement he gets, where he took his business. And so how can we help smaller agencies that want to get to this point? We create a creator program, and together we learn how to better create content for LinkedIn, how to build our personal brands, how to run outbound campaigns, and again, like create these win-win content scenarios in a very, very specific fashion for very, very specific people who use HeyReach. And last but not least, HeyReach Swag. It's maybe my second most favorite project in HeyReach. This started recently, and I was really curious, like, can Swag, now that we have some money to reinvest, can it be utilized as a growth channel? We created some caps that are very branded, very on point, and that we thought people are going to deem them as cool. And they did. And this is awesome because we started sending them to everybody. Users, partners, whoever, and then we didn't ask them to share the stories, but they do. And then other people see it, they comment on it, hey, I want a cap. This was the guy, Dominic, who left a comment on a post that he wants a cap. We sent it to him, he received it in less than 10 days, and we tried to do it right. There's always a personalized note, there's always something human about it, and people, for some reason, they share this constantly. And again, it gives us some good stuff in terms of word of mouth. And this kind of covers for the time that I have for what I wanted to show you. But if we bring it to the, kind of to bring it home, what's important is you always want to align it with your brand, in a sense. And you're going to see a slide in a second. But these are our branding guidelines. Everything we do, these 4 bullet points have to be respected. Win-win marketing initiatives need to be prioritized. We're building the tool together with our users. Only actionable, entertaining content goes out, nothing else. And we care, and we're willing to go the extra mile, always. And last but not least, every flow, including the operator, can be improved. Every single channel that you've seen on slides, it can be improved, including with me, you, and everybody else. And if you take this personally, this is maybe the most important thing. And hopefully it was useful and actionable as I promised. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you just stay for a moment. So first of all, amazing selection of ideas and actions. Congratulations. It's great to see all these together. One of the things I'm sure a lot of people are thinking here in the audience is, wow, this is great, but oh my God, how am I going to implement any of this stuff? Right? So my question to you is, like, how do you get started? Because I think you're obviously showing the outcome of multiple actions and multiple years and all that stuff. Like, what do you do from day one when you want to introduce some of these kind of marketing-driven initiatives?
Say you don't have any users yet. And so instead of maybe selling, you can go to 10 users who you think are ideal. You can say, hey, use my tool for free for a month. You can probably use this as a strategy. But if you succeed and you're going to help them succeed, get to that wow moment as fast as you can, you're going to give me like a case study. And that case study can be your outbound outliers, and you're going to share it on your LinkedIn. So that's the deal that we make. Okay, so give it for free and in exchange for basically a case study. And just start with the first content. First outbound outlier story wasn't as good as the 10th one. It just compounds.
Another question. So I'm very active on LinkedIn for my own business purposes. One thing I've noticed is that reach is dropping significantly across the board. Certainly for me, but I understand for a lot of other creators as well. How do you manage that? Because it can be very frustrating when you're putting a lot of effort into content creation and you're seeing this just reaching fewer eyeballs.
You might hate me for the answer, but my answer is I don't care about the reach. Meaning, like,
okay.
if I do
you seem like
3
a good
posts,
guy. I won't hate you.
if I do 3 posts a week, that's 12 per month. And even though that the reach is lower, it's still going to get me results. LinkedIn is the one platform that changed my life dramatically in terms of business. And so you just got to continue to iterate. Sometimes you know this feeling, like you spend 2 hours on a post, it drops the ball. But then you spend 20 minutes on another and it performs like crazy. It's, you know, the market is going to decide what works. And, you know, if you do it consistently, the results are going to still be there, even though that maybe a couple of posts failed. So don't take it personally. Too much, yeah.
Well, in this case, don't take it personally, right?
This one, yes.
Okay. Great. Well, listen, thank you very much. It was a great presentation. If you guys want to continue the conversation with Vukašin and pick his brain, then you can do so next door in the other room. So thank you very much. A round of applause.
Thank you for the attention.